Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Moorhead Family Dentistry. Family dentistry with a woman's touch. Go to moorheadkydentist.com. That's moorheadkydentist.com.
For our first daytime episode number 5. We're in the 3rd of February Park, and this is kind of where we've been hanging out these last couple days. We exercise, we take walks. It's just a beautiful place in the middle of Buenos Aires and really close to our apartment.
Yeah. So it's about a mile away. We come here all the time. We love it.
And what's so nice that we've been noticing here is that everybody's out and about, and it's such a great city to be active and exercising, and families come and people come here after work. It's hard not to catch up with that energy, I think, of the city. So this is a special episode because it's our birthday episode. And we kind of want to talk a lot about what we've been doing the last couple days to celebrate our birthdays, because with birthdays come celebrations and parties and dinners and all these great things. So we have a lot of great things to share, I think, right? Yeah. So let's get started. Last we left off, we were talking about my surprise birthday dinner, thanks to Harry.
And we ended up going to the Adentro, A-D-E-N-T-R-O, Adentro Dinner Club. Maybe a few blocks from our house. Ended up being a really nice dinner. It was an actual closed-door restaurant. So we talked about in our last episode, we went to Oche Once, and that was a closed-door restaurant too, but it was more of, you walk right in and it felt like a restaurant.
Right, more of a restaurant
Everyone
feel.
sat separately, and here we sat at like a group table. Everyone who came, there was basically 2 women in their late 30s, and then another couple in their late 20s.
From Argentina.
From Argentina. The other couple was from, not couple, but the women were from...
the States. One was from Miami and the other one was from Philadelphia?
Yep, Pittsburgh. Close enough, right?
And so, you know, it was really cool because I think Harry knew that, you know, we were going to be away from our families for our birthdays, and so this whole idea of coming together and sitting together at a table and drinking wine and having dinner and sharing stories and, you know, having some good laughs.
And you take a big risk because you don't know who's going to show up, right? It could be people who speak French or people who speak Spanish. So luckily, at least the women spoke very good English, spoke English well.
Yes, well, they were from the United States.
Yes, and then the man with the Argentine couple, he spoke English really well. His wife didn't, or girlfriend. But regardless, we had a good conversation, we had a good time, the food was good. You know, for the price, I don't think you could necessarily beat it.
No, because you're paying just to be able to sit and, you know, talk with one another and kind of get that family experience. Well, and like we said, we enjoyed it. It was nice to be able to sit and, you know, speak and talk to other people, because sometimes we feel a little isolated here in Buenos Aires, knowing with the language barrier. But like Harry said, sometimes it's a little hit or miss because it's kind of almost like a jackpot. Whoever comes to the dinner, that's who you're going to be sitting across and sharing a meal with and having drinks with. And
yeah, and the big thing I would say, the tip here is, you know, when you go to the site and you look at the menu, and this is probably with any kind of closed-door restaurant, they're going to show you, if you choose English, that it's in US dollars. But if you go through Spanish, you'll see that it's in pesos. So I looked at the Spanish amount. The USD amount was $65 per person. I said, okay, let me go check out the Spanish side, let me see what they're paying in pesos, and you know, the equivalent with the blue rate was only about $33. So it was almost half the amount if you converted your money and paid in pesos. So it only ended up being about $70 with an additional bottle of wine that we had there for the night.
So you're right, I think actually when you look at it as a whole, you know, great opportunity to mix and mingle with other people, other travelers, and then, you know, end up getting a really good meal out of it.
Yeah, and I was actually hoping like there'd be that other either British or Australian couple or even maybe an American couple. Hey, we can go out for drinks afterwards.
Yeah, that's true. Because in our travels, I feel like we always have this token Australian couple or this token British couple that we always seem to click with. It's about a clicking thing, and if you click with the couple, it's like the whole night is just so good and full of laughs.
It goes from good to great.
Yeah,
you know, extremely memorable.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point of how to describe it. But anyway. Yes.
With Tommy.
Yes.
Or Tomas.
From our followers on Facebook or maybe even Twitter, you'll see that Tomas has become kind of like our best friend here in Argentina. we've shared a lot of good days with him and a lot of good experiences, and he's become almost like, honestly, a good friend to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
best friend in Argentina.
He is our best friend in Argentina. But because, I don't know if people have been following, but we've been doing a couple videos for him, which we're really excited about. I feel like we're kind of moving on to some new things and trying to do, trying our hand at vlogging.
And it keeps us busy here,
It does
right?
keep us busy. It gives us a job to do.
Yeah, and people keep, before we left, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to... I don't even feel like I've had time to sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say relax, but we've always felt busy. We haven't felt like,
that's true.
bored at all.
It kind of gives us a purpose, and we get a lot of people always keep asking, like, what do you do all day? But we've actually been quite busy, I think.
Yep. So we went to La Boca. We did the La Boca tour.
Yes.
He offered to bring us, in lieu, we would do a video for him of the tour.
Honestly, what a great deal, right? We got this great tour in this historic city. You can look on Facebook, you can look on our information and kind of check it out. It was really cool. The highlight for me was seeing the La Boca Juniors Stadium. This is where the most beloved soccer team plays in Argentina, and you could see, like, driving around the city, everybody wears La Boca and they have flags hanging. It's just, it's their big soccer team here.
It's the Chicago Bears of Argentina.
Yeah, good point. So it was just really cool to be able to see that, and it's funny, one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we mentioned today is that Harry kind of said, what's everybody's vibe after the World Cup? And it was almost like,
don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it here. It's almost like they're really, really upset about the whole thing.
They still are,
just considering, as we know, that soccer is such a big part of Latin America culture here. I mean, like he said, I'm not even talking about it. And he was serious too. It wasn't even a joke. He's like,
But you could tell during the tour, this was towards the end of the tour, we went to the stadium after we visited the town, or like the little area of La Boca. And so you can still see all the passion he has for the stadium.
Yeah, soccer.
The museum within it, and talking about it. And there's actually, like, I think of it, TVs there that show continuously every single goal created or made during each one of their championship seasons.
Right.
So you could just see how, that caught his eye, and he, started looking at, kind of forgetting we're there, right?
Well, how could you not? It's like the best.
Oh, this is a great goal. I remember this one. And this is, a decade worth of goals, or 2 decades worth of goals, and they still remember each goal individually. So the stadium is...
Yes, and it's, to be honest, it's kind of in a neighborhood that is not always the safest at times. He was saying after 6 o'clock, a lot of people don't choose to go out in the streets and stuff.
Almost, if you're not from La Boca, you shouldn't be in La Boca past 6 p.m.
Yeah, good point.
But I think what's cool is, if you feel uncomfortable at all about going here, this is a great way to go there with the guide for the day, right?
Let's start dancing, mateys. Que me quiere.
Very good. Let go. I felt safe the whole time.
Yeah.
And later on, when we did a bus tour, like a free, like a double-decker bus tour, self-guided bus tour, we went through La Boca, and you could, after you've gone there with the guide, you see, okay, it's safe enough that you can do it on your own if you decide to. You just have to know to stay within that area, certain blocks, and not sort of wander off, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's no different, I don't think, than any other sort of area we've been to towards the area.
No.
I would just say the big tip there is, I would say, head out by 5:30. Why take a chance at 6 o'clock?
So, but it's great, and Tommy's just, he's such an engaging, energetic guide. He just brings life to everywhere we go. I mean, we could be sitting having lunch at some just little run-of-the-mill kind of local establishment, and he just brings so much, like I said, life and energy and fun to all of the tours. So it's been a blessing to be, to meet him, and we can move on a little bit. What was great was when we were in La Boca tour, Harry and him were kind of talking, and he mentioned something in passing about that his birthday was Monday, and we were like, wait a second. So Harry's like, let me see your driver's license.
Yeah,
so,
I said, prove it, come on.
So he brought out his driver's license, and lo and behold, Harry and him have the exact same birthday.
And his picture was hilarious.
His picture was hilarious.
Because he was like...
Yeah, we kind of gave him, we made fun a little bit.
He was like this. Maybe not with the mouth open, but...
Yeah.
So we give him a little crap there.
Yes, but in that conversation, we were lucky enough because he said, you know what? And we were kind of talking and kind of joking around with him a little bit, and he said, well, maybe I'll have a get-together and I'll let you know. I'm going to check with the wife, check with the family, see what's going on. And a couple days later, right, I think maybe a day or two later, we had gotten an email from him saying, like, guess what?
Yes, we're going to have a traditional parilla.
Yeah, I want you to come over to my house, and I want you to come, and my whole family's going to come, about 12 good persons.
Yes, three brothers, one sister.
Yeah, including him, and a couple wives were in there, and his mom and dad, and his little baby. And so, what a fabulous opportunity to be able to meet this guy, almost become friends, like actually become friends, and then be invited to his house for this family style, again, feeling like we're at home, feeling like we're with family.
Birthday party.
Yeah, his birthday party.
So we sang in Spanish, we sang in English, so we sang in Polish. Happy birthday, right?
We had to do that. Our traditions, we have to make sure that we're doing that, following through.
Dessert. So they had, Tommy cooked on the grill all of the meats. So just slabs of meats, right? And they were all
And wouldn't you say that was kind of some of the best meat that we really had here?
It was the best meat we had.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was delicious.
You
just look at a huge slab of meat and think, God, that's probably a little bit difficult to cook on a grill like that. And he had different sizes, and everything came out so good.
It was almost perfection.
Beef.
Yeah, he was the master on the grill for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. So that was actually a highlight on Harry's birthday, and I think he actually ended up having a really great birthday.
And we actually brought him a nice gag gift, one of the $1 bottles of wine, because whenever we tell people we bought a $1 bottle of wine, they always say, oh, it's bad, right? Oh, why did you do that? Oh,
yeah.
Don't do that. Spend more, you know? So I actually brought him the $1 bottle of wine.
He appreciated it.
He said, well, maybe I'll use it for cooking.
He did say that.
But dessert. Dulce de leche.
Yes.
Con dulce de leche. Ice cream.
Yeah, Fredo here is like just probably the place to go for ice cream.
You see about as many as Starbucks back home.
Yeah, you're right.
They're all over.
It's a good comparison. And so they came out with this styrofoam, and to me there's something about styrofoam and ice cream in a container, like it seems very appealing to me. So they came out with this dessert, a big old styrofoam container of this dulce de leche
and
ice cream.
And a birthday cake.
And a birthday cake.
So we sing happy birthday, right?
Yes.
And afterwards, everybody hit up the ice cream, right? I think only one piece of the cake was actually gone. And you know us, it's our sweet tooth, right?
Yes.
So we had our ice cream, and then we said, oh yeah, we want some cake too. So we put the cake on top of the ice cream, and together it was just phenomenal, right?
Right.
It's homemade cake with the dulce de leche ice cream, con dulce de leche.
It was really good.
Oh, heavenly.
Something else that we did on the 19th, so the day before Harry's birthday and then in between mine, we went to this show, and it's called Fuerza
Bruta.
And it's very similar to a
Cirque du Soleil show.
Yeah, something you would see in New York or Vegas, and I will tell you, it was phenomenal.
So much more intimate though.
Yes,
one of those shows.
You're right.
That's what made it so
Yes.
cool. I mean, you're just feet away from, and even some of the performers were right next to us.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were interacting with
the audience, so it was so cool. Absolutely highly recommend. We're able to pay in pesos.
Yeah, and so how much did it end up costing us?
I think it was like $23 for both of us. When you're talking in Vegas, it's probably $100 to $150 ticket.
Sure, yeah. I mean, the show was such high energy, and you're actually standing throughout the show, and you don't even realize you're standing throughout the whole performance because it's that good and that intense. And so I don't want to say too much to ruin it, because it's one of those things, like, I feel like if you describe it too much, it kind of ruins the experience for other people. Like, we didn't even want to look online so much to see what the show was all about because we felt like it would ruin it. But it is playing in New York and here in Buenos Aires. So
it might not even be the same show. It might be the same idea, but if you're ever here, absolutely go see it. I think it's been like the best nighttime activity we've had here.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
I would say it beats out any kind of bar or restaurant or anything else that we've done. And it's a pretty short show. It's about an hour, 15 minutes. Oh, so much fun.
Let's leave it at that because I don't want to ruin it. But maybe we'll show a couple clips
I recommend. And if you need to buy tickets, you get them at the upper floor of the Hard Rock Cafe, right near the entrance of Fuerza Bruta.
Yes.
And that is a big tip because that took us a long time to actually find out.
That was an adventure in itself, wasn't it?
Yes.
We eventually found it. So, trying to think what else we wanted to make sure that we addressed. Oh, I know what we wanted. One last thing we wanted to make sure that we talked about. A couple days in advance, the weather here has been really getting hot. It kind of seems like it's summer here to us.
Yes.
85, sunny, the skies have been blue. Beautiful weather, but it's actually really spring, and so we wanted to take the opportunity to go visit the Ecological Reserve.
Oh yes, we did that.
Yeah,
okay.
So we did that a couple days ago. It was our first opportunity to actually see the Plata. Is it the River de Plata?
Yeah.
Is that how they describe it? As Buenos Aires is kind of on this little bay, and it's on the water. It's the city on the water, and it kind of stinks because I feel like you don't realize you're so close to this big bay of water, right?
No, you never have the feeling that you're near the. It doesn't feel like a sort of oceanfront or waterfront city at all.
No, and it is kind of tropical. You can see the palm trees behind us and all the wildlife and stuff, but it was actually a very great place to go. We got a good hike in. It was real hot that day.
No, it was, and you know what? It's a nice way to feel like you're almost at a, what would be equivalent to like a forest preserve by us, right?
Yeah.
People jogging, riding bikes. If you get the opportunity where you feel like you want to get some exercise, awesome place to go for free. Once again, they have
free.
a line of vendors outside that you can stop afterwards.
Yeah, so if you're working up and burning out all those calories, you might want to just kind of ruin it all and get a big old sausage sandwich, right?
Exactly.
Soda, water, whatever. But no, it was a really nice thing that we did during the day, and just like you said, get some exercise. So it was good. Highly recommend.
Yeah. So that's pretty much sums up like that last few days. We'll have probably one more episode after Buenos Aires to go over the things that we did in Buenos Aires this last week.
We wanted to talk about like our favorites, right? What to do, what not to do. Maybe our
we'll
highlights.
do like maybe highlights, maybe even lowlights, maybe things that are overrated. We'll talk about that, and we'll do maybe a short, believe it or not, a short clip.
We'll try to make it short.
You know, less than 5 minutes of sort of this, our summary of Buenos Aires.
Yeah, but on the whole, I feel like we can say that we really enjoyed the city, and you know, it's kind of, you know, we're kind of not nervous, but it's kind of this.
It's very comfortable right now.
Yeah, we are comfortable.
I was even telling Tommy's family, like, I could imagine living here, you know, because it's just so nice. The weather's phenomenal. People are, you know, really nice and wonderful.
Right, and once we leave here, we know that we're going to be more so on the road, so to speak, and the backpacking is going to officially begin. Because we're going to be in certain places in shorter amount of times and really on the road, so to speak. So, like I said, it's kind of bittersweet that we've been so comfortable and enjoying our time here, but it's time to move on, and it's time for some new adventures and a change of scenery, and we're kind of excited about that.
On the road again.
On the road again, yeah.
Because now it's going to be 3, 4, 5 nights each time we stay somewhere. Maybe even 2 nights. So
yeah. But we're ready. I'm ready for some new adventure and some new scenery.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. Thanks for joining us again. Stay tuned to episode number 6.